Imagine a world where your money grows while you sleep, eat, or even watch YouTube videos. How long would it take to turn $1 into $1 million by doubling it each day? We're diving into the fascinating realm of compound interest, a financial concept that can change the way you think about your investments. In this video, we'll explore compound interest in a simple, easy-to-understand way, without any complicated jargon. Get ready to learn about the magic of making your money work for you, and we'll even reveal a quick trick to calculate the doubling time of your investments using the Rule of 72. So buckle up, and let's talk about the compound interest and the role of Rule of 72. In this video, we're demystifying compound interest, the force that can make your investments soar. We'll follow the stories of individuals as they make different choices about their investments. Through their journeys, you'll learn how compound interest affects your wealth over time and how a small change in your investment strategy can yield significant differences in the long run. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand the concept inside out, but you'll also know how it directly impacts your financial decisions and wealth. The potential of compound interest. Compound interest, also known as interest on interest, is a magical force that can make your money grow effortlessly. Whether you're parking your savings in a bank account, investing in stocks, or exploring various financial instruments, this concept is essential to understand. It's like a hidden gem in the world of personal finance, and it's a secret that could have a massive impact on your financial future. Let's break it down with an example. Meet Alex and Riley, both in their 30s. They each have $1,000 to invest, and they both earn a 10% interest rate annually on their investments. But here's the twist. While Alex decides to withdraw the interest he earns each year, Riley chooses to leave her money invested, allowing it to earn compound interest. After 1 year, Alex has made $100 in interest, but his principal investment remains $1,000. On the other hand, Riley also earns $100 in interest during the first year, but her principal for the second year isn't $1,000, it's $1,100. That extra $100 in interest gets added to her initial investment. The power of compounding. Now, this is where the magic of compounding kicks in. In the second year, while Alex continues to earn $100 on his $1,000, Riley's $1,100 generates $110 in interest. She's not just earning interest on her initial investment, she's also earning interest on the interest she earned in the first year. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill, picking up momentum. As time passes, Riley's investment grows exponentially faster than Alex's. Her money starts working for her, making her wealth grow while she sleeps, eats, or watches YouTube videos. By understanding this fundamental concept, you can make smarter financial decisions and take control of your future. Time is your ally in the world of compound interest. The Rule of 72. Now, let's introduce you to a handy tool called the Rule of 72. It's a simple way to estimate how long it will take for your money to double at a specific interest rate. Just divide 72 by the interest rate percentage, and you'll have the approximate time in years it takes to double your investment. For instance, with a 1% interest rate, it would take about 72 years to double your money. But keep in mind, this is without considering factors like taxes or inflation. To beat inflation, you'd need an interest rate higher than the inflation rate. With a 2% interest rate, it would take 36 years to double your investment. And if you're looking at a more ambitious 10% interest rate, your money would double in just 7.2 years. Now, imagine starting with just $1 and doubling it each day. In 21 days, you'd have $1 million. Of course, this isn't entirely realistic in the real world, but it showcases the astonishing power of compound interest. The impact of time on investments. The amount of time you invest is a crucial factor when it comes to compound interest. Let's illustrate this with Alex and Riley's stories. If you're a young investor, time is your best friend. Even small investments can grow significantly over time, thanks to the power of compounding. But what if you're starting later in life? Well, you might need to invest larger amounts to achieve the same results. Imagine you have the same investment horizon as Riley, but instead of 30 years, you only have 20 years. To reach the same end result, you'd need to start with $2,600, which is 2.6 times more than Riley's initial $1,000. If you have just 10 years to invest, you'd need a starting sum of $6,700, which is 6.7 times more than Riley's. So, the key takeaway is that the longer you can invest, the more significant the impact of compound interest. If you're young, even small amounts can grow substantially. If you're a bit older when you start, consider investing larger sums to catch up. Compound interest works its magic, but time is the enchanting wand that makes it truly powerful. Compound interest in different investments. Compound interest isn't limited to savings accounts. It applies to various types of investments, including stocks and bonds. It's a universal concept that can work for you no matter where you put your money. In fact, it's the foundation of growing wealth in the world of finance. Let's break away from Alex and Riley's story for a moment and think about the bigger picture. Whether you're investing in the stock market or bonds, compound interest is always at play. When your investments generate returns, it's not just the initial amount that grows, it's the returns themselves. For instance, when you invest in stocks, the returns you earn can be reinvested, allowing your wealth to snowball over time. Similarly, with bonds, the interest you earn can be reinvested to generate even more returns. The concept of compounding is a fundamental principle in the world of finance, and it's what makes the financial world go round. Savings versus immediate gratification. Have you ever wondered what your daily spending choices mean for your financial future? Those little expenditures, like a daily coffee or eating out, can add up significantly. When you opt for immediate gratification, you might not realize the long-term impact it can have on your wealth. Think about it this way. That morning coffee you grab for around $5 might not seem like a big deal, but if you were to invest that money instead and earn a 10% return on it, it could be worth nearly $1.80 in 30 years. That's quite a transformation from a daily habit. Now, let's take the example of ordering lunch for about $10. If you invested that money instead with a 10% return, it could turn into almost $160 in 30 years. It's important to note that we're not suggesting you should never enjoy your coffee or a meal out. It's about being aware of the choices you make and their potential long-term financial impact. If you like our video so far, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. The impact of regular small expenses. It's not just the occasional coffee or lunch that can affect your finances. It's the cumulative effect of repeated small expenses over time. Even seemingly insignificant expenses can become substantial when you consider the power of compound interest. Let's say you indulge in a $5 coffee once a week. In a year, this adds up to $260. While $260 might not seem like a lot in a single year, if you invest it with a 10% return and let it compound over 30 years, it could grow to a whopping $4,100. That's quite a significant return on something as simple as a weekly coffee. The same principle applies to eating out or any other small expenses. It's about realizing that those expenses can have a long-lasting impact on your financial future when invested wisely. It's all part of the puzzle of making smart economic decisions. Management fees and compound interest. We often underestimate the impact of management fees on our investments. Even a seemingly small percentage can lead to substantial differences in your end result, thanks to the magic of compound interest. Let's go back to Riley's story, but this time we'll factor in management fees. The management fee of a mutual fund is typically around 1% to 2%, while index funds have lower fees, often below 0.4%. Hedge funds, on the other hand, can have even higher fees, sometimes exceeding 2.5%, along with performance-based fees. If Riley had invested in an index fund with a 0.2% yearly fee, she'd end up with 94% of the amount she would have had without fees after 30 years. However, if she chose a fund with a 2% fee, her end result would be only 56% of the no-fee scenario. This shows that management fees are far from inconsequential. The fee not only accumulates over time, eating into your potential returns, but it also decreases the amount you have available to compound for future years. Active versus passive funds. One crucial consideration when it comes to management fees is the choice between active and passive funds. Active funds, where fund managers actively make investment decisions, often come with higher fees. Passive funds, like index funds, aim to mimic the performance of a specific market index and typically have lower fees. Now, it's essential to understand the difference between these two types of funds. Active funds may charge higher fees because they involve professional management, research, and decision-making. The aim is to outperform the market or a benchmark index. However, many funds marketed as active are, in reality, closely aligned with the performance of index funds. They charge higher fees but often fail to deliver better results than their passive counterparts. This is where investors need to be cautious. The higher fee doesn't always equate to better returns. On the other hand, index funds aim to replicate the performance of an established index, such as the S&P 500. These funds typically have lower fees because they require less active management. They're a cost-effective way to invest in a broad market or sector, and their returns can be quite competitive. The impact of fund fees. Over time, the impact of fund fees becomes more evident when you consider the long-term effect they have on your investments. Over time, even a seemingly small difference in fees can lead to substantial variations in your end result. Let's look at an example to understand this better. Imagine you have two friends, Chris and Jordan, who each invest $10,000. Chris chooses a fund with a 0.5% annual fee, while Jordan selects a fund with a 1.5% annual fee. Both funds have the same investment returns before fees are taken into account. Over the course of 30 years, Chris's investment, with the 0.5% fee, would grow to approximately $43,000. Meanwhile, Jordan's investment, with the 1.5% fee, would only reach around $32,000. The difference of 1% in annual fees results in an $11,000 gap in their final amounts. This example highlights the importance of understanding the fees associated with your investments. Even a seemingly small difference in fees can lead to substantial disparities in your wealth over time. Investing strategy and risk. Your investment strategy and the level of risk you're comfortable with play a significant role in your choices. Higher interest rates often come with higher risk, and it's essential to strike a balance that aligns with your financial goals and risk tolerance. Consider Emily and Liam, two investors with different approaches. Emily prefers the safety of low-risk investments and chooses a savings account with a 2% interest rate. Her investment is relatively secure, but her returns are modest, taking 36 years to double. Liam, on the other hand, decides to invest in the stock market, targeting a 10% annual return. While the potential returns are much higher, the stock market carries more risk. It takes Liam just 7.2 years to double his investment. Both Emily and Liam are making valid choices based on their risk tolerance and financial goals. The key is to strike a balance that aligns with your comfort level while considering the trade-offs between risk and potential return. As you can see, compound interest is like a financial superpower that can work for you or against you, depending on your financial choices. By understanding the principles of compounding, time, and the impact of fees, you can make informed decisions that lead to greater financial security and wealth over time. Now, as we've seen in the stories of our friends, Alex, Riley, Chris, Jordan, Emily, and Liam, the choices you make today can have a profound impact on your financial future. Whether it's choosing to invest early, minimize fees, or balance risk, the power of compound interest is a force you can harness to secure a brighter financial tomorrow. So, start making smart economic decisions today and watch your wealth grow like never before. So, remember, time and knowledge are your allies in the world of finance. Harness the power of compound interest, invest wisely, and watch your wealth grow. If you found this video informative, please hit the like button and subscribe for more financial insights. Thanks for joining us on this financial journey, and until next time, happy investing!